Hey, this is Professor Homa. I'm going to use the same exercise that we just used to go over styles. Now, what styles are is they're going to be a way to make formatting a lot quicker and a lot easier, and mostly faster, using something where you have a formatting that kind of repeats. Now, that was kind of a pain when you went through this. When you went through this exercise, you had to format things once, and then you had to do everything in between, and it kind of took a while to do all these things in between. When we set styles, we're just going to actually, if you look at this thing, this is our PDF file. If you look at this, there's one style, which is kind of the category heading. There's another style here. I'll just highlight this. This style here, these lines that have software, are another type of formatting. And then this general formats, I think it just had less space. And we're even going to move this over so it lines up. So we're really going to have 1, 2, 3 types of formatting options. Actually, this stuff here is really going to be formatted exactly the same way as this. And what we're going to do is we're going to format things once, save it as a style, and then just apply it throughout our document. It'll make things a lot faster. And after you see this, you'll be like, wow, why didn't I do that before? So I'm going to minimize this and go back to my document here. And I'm going to give you this kind of started almost like it is now. And actually, I'm going to have a couple things set up. But I'll go through those first things just to review. First of all, you remember the last time we made this thing red. Our top line, we made it red, we made it bold. I think we made it like 18 point. I don't think we applied any spacing to it, we didn't center it. This was our category heading. We had word processing software, we had spreadsheet software, we had database software. These were kind of like our headings or our categories. So I think what we did with these is we made them bold. I'll leave it bold. We set a tab for this one, and remember setting a tab, we went to the paragraph dialog box launcher, went down to tabs, and then we put in a 5 here. Now let's put in a 6 just to make it a little bit different. So it's different than the last exercise we used. So I'm putting in 6 here. Remember, you have to put right tab, and I'm not using a leader on the heading, so I'm not going to put a leader here, and I'm going to hit set and then OK. So that's set right here. Now for these next paragraphs, now I could highlight all the way through pages because general formats is the next section. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm just going to do what we did last time. We went into paragraph, we indented it, we went to left indent, and we'll talk about all these different indents. And I'm going to put in 0.25 for the indent, and I'm going to hit, well, I'll hit OK just to see what happens. So there's my left indent, and you can see up here on the ruler, it indents all that text about 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to set a tab, and I'll show you a different way to set a tab. Instead of going paragraph tabs, you can go on the ruler, if you're seeing the ruler, and set a tab. Now one thing you have to watch over here, this thing, you may not even notice this, but this thing changes by clicking on it. There's a left tab, there's a center tab, and the right tab is the one that looks like a backwards L. So it should be kind of facing, if it's a right tab, and you could hold your mouse over it, it'll say right tab. But that's a right tab, so when I click on here, it's going to set a right tab. So I'm just going to click, I guess I'll click at 6, and there's my right tab. Now if I double click right on this little icon that I put on the ruler, it'll open this up and I can edit it. Now to edit it, make sure you go down to the 6 down here. And all I'm going to do for this one is just add a leader. And I'll hit set, and I'll hit OK. And that's done. Okay, now the only other thing I want to do here is general formats. I'm just going to set that a little bit different. I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to set a right tab, and I already have right here, so I'll go and I'll set a right tab. I'll do it this way. I'll double click on it just to check that I got it on 6 exactly, and that looks okay. Now one thing I did forget is that and actually I'm also going to indent this general formats because it's almost like a subcategory of word processing software. So I'm going to indent this too, and I could actually indent this right on the ruler. I could just go over here and just move it over to 1/4 inch, and that will change the indent as well. Sometimes people don't like using these things on the rulers because they're tiny and they're hard to grab. So one more thing we have to do here is to set our spacing. So in this general formats paragraph, we're going to do a space before, and I think this one was a little less. We did 6 point. So I'm going to hit OK. Now this one, I think we did 12 point before. So I'm going to go to paragraph dialog box launcher, spacing before, I'll click this twice so it's 12. So that creates our 12-point space before, and for each category, each time we use it, it's going to create that space above, so you don't have to do, you know, space below anything else. So these will create all the spacing we want for our document. These will just leave the way they are. So what we have here again is we have one type of formatting. We're not even going to make this one a style because we only use it once. This one we're going to make a style. This stuff we're going to make a style, and it's going to be also applied the same way to this, so we only have to make one style. And then our third style is this one. So all we have to do now that we did the work is give these things names. So you know what, I'm going to break here and then I'm going to go back over doing the styles. So this is the first part of making styles. It's just formatting the ways that they're going to change throughout, because now that you did this once, you don't want to have to go back and do that stuff all over again. What we're going to do is we're going to save these as styles and then apply them. So let me break right here and then I'll do the second half where I'll just make the styles.